In this particular video, I want to go through how I was able to design this particular event flyer using my smartphone on Canva. I want to show you from scratch how this was done. So watch closely. And by the way, if you haven't joined my Canva to Profit community, you should join right now. Access fee is just 3,999 naira. You get to learn how to use Canva effectively, how to design, not just designing, how to take your work to the printing press and get them printed. So let's dive into this video and show you how it is being done. So first thing, I just add a new page. You see right here, and I'm going to bring in my background, which is the first thing I did. So I go to my background. So actually I got this inspiration from Pinterest. That's one of the reasons I love Pinterest so much. You can see this particular design that is here. I got it from Pinterest and I used it as an inspiration to redesign my own. I didn't copy them back to back. All right. So I come here to where I have my background, this particular background you're seeing here. I clicked on it and I set it as my background. So I'm going to adjust this right now. Okay, adjusted. The next thing I did was to bring in that particular gradient at the top, because I did not want it to look like you can see now this gradient at the top right here. I'm going to bring it something like that. So I go to my elements and I'm going to search for blue gradient. So when I search for blue gradient, a lot of gradients are going to come up, but this is the one I'm going to make use of. You can see it right here, this gradient. So let me show you the name. I click on these three dots and go to info. So you see the name. Whenever you're searching for it, you know what to search for. It's called dark blue fade abstract background, right? So now I'm going to flip it. Go to flip and flip let's try vertical. Correct. So vertical is going to come out like this. So what I did was to increase the size. You can see right now, and then I'm going to lock it so that it doesn't disturb me when I'm trying to move around. I go to lock it. So I come here, click on more, and I lock it so that it doesn't disturb when I'm moving. Now that has been sorted. The next thing I did was to go ahead and bring in my picture, which is this particular wavy cloth you're seeing at the background. So I go there, I go to my upload. Most of these resources were downloaded from Pinterest. Okay, so I come here, you can see the cloth here. This is the cloth I used, and I'm going to remove the background. So I'm taking off the background right now. So when I'm done with that, I'm going to adjust it to fit the way I want. So you can see right here, I'll adjust it this way, adjust this way, just make it big enough to occupy space. Okay, so I'm going to use the rotate option a little bit to rotate it this way. Okay, so I have gotten this. Now the next thing I did was to bring in the minister's picture, which is Judy K. So I got her pictures from Facebook and I actually loved it. So when I was thinking of whose person's picture that was going to fit well into this particular design, she came to mind. So I love Judy K so much, and her song, God bless her for what she do for the body of Christ. So I'm going to remove the background as well and we'll adjust it accordingly. So I'll be showing you the small magics that we'll be doing. It's very simple and straight to point. So I'm going to cut this part off like this. All right, so and then adjust it this way. Then I come here, I bring it down a little bit. I'm going to increase the size. Okay. So I think this is better. So now the next thing I did was to these particular elements, this blue stuff we used, I'm going to go back and bring it again. So I bring it this time and we're going to be using it at the bottom here like this for this aspect. So let's make it big, a little bit. So you can see how it's now covering her in such a way that you will not be seeing the background so much, right? So this is covered, and that's how I was able to achieve this extent. So the next thing I want to do is to lock it as well, because I do not want it to disturb me when I am trying to do all that stuff. All right, so I have locked this now. Now let's go ahead and start adding our other important information. So I went to my test. I'm going to type believers. Okay, so let's go to color. So I didn't use pure white color. Okay, come back here to colors. You're going to see the color I used. This is the color I used, not pure white. Okay, so I go to bold format. I make it to be in capital letters, and I use the font Montserrat. I think so. That's what I used here. So let's go to Montserrat. Okay, so this is Montserrat, and I'm going to select the option of semi bold. Okay, so I reduce the size. So first of all, duplicate this. So I have an extra text to be working with. I don't need to be going to pick text up and down. Do you understand? So I come here to believers. I zoomed in. So remember to always zoom in. That's the way you have access. You can gain control of what you're doing. So I come here to this advanced, and we're going to do letter spacing like this. So I think we still need to space it a little bit. Okay, so we're there. So we can reduce the size also as well. Now come here. I'm going to duplicate this text now, and we're going to type heavenly, and we're going to change this font to waffle. So I used waffle here. Yeah, this is it. I use waffle, and I'm going to head over to format. I'm going to remove the capital letters. So this is heavenly, and let's centralize this. Okay, it's already centralized, but it still has some shapes, some space. So I'm going to delete this now. So I come here to heavenly, and you see how I did it. So just duplicate this and then type worship, heavenly worship. So remember to join my Canva to Profit community if you want to learn more. There are so much more you're going to learn. So this is how I was able to achieve this. Now, one thing I did was to make sure I add shadow. So I'm going to drop this down a little bit, adjust the size. So I come to where you have effects, and I'm going to add drop shadow. So drop shadow is like this. I click on the heavenly as well, and I add drop shadow too. So that's how I was able to achieve this aspect you're seeing now. So the next thing I did was to bring in I brought in a triangle. So go to elements, come to triangle, three-sided, and we're going to give it a color. So come to color, click here. I'm using a gradient color, this particular gradient you're seeing here. So let's rotate this like this. Okay, so when this is rotated, we're going to go to corners and we'll be adjusting the corner round. I want the corner to be round a little bit. So this is it. I'm going to reduce the size. So as we're reducing the size, the corner will become more rounded, and we're dragging it somewhere here. So like this, I go to corners again, and I want to reduce the corners because I don't want it to be so rounded. Okay, so I brought it somewhere here. I could still reduce it if I want to. So now that I've done this, I'm going to type 26, that's 2026, you understand? So come here, I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to type, put here, 26. So we would love to change the font to something that is more kind of not let's use waffle as well. Okay, so I've typed this, and I'm going to come here and put it inside the 2026, put it in a triangle. Okay, put it in a triangle, and I would love to group the two of them together, so that way it's easy for me to move them along. So I click on the triangle itself. I'm back here. So if it's giving you issues like that, this is what you just do. Click on layers and go and look for what you're looking for. Click on this triangle now, and I move it to the front. So it's easy for me to select. I go back to layers again, bring the 2026 to be at the front of the triangle, and it makes it easy for me also to adjust. So you see here now. So that's it. So now I can now select both of them. Click these dots, click on select multiple. I select the text and I group them together. So I can now move the both of them at once. You get. So the next thing I did, which is also very, very critical here, was to add. I think I have to reduce this worship a little bit so that it doesn't occupy too many space. Okay. So next thing I did was to type here, and I'm going to duplicate here. So let's see. I put something at the back and say the okay, so the Church of God is moving. I'm going to reduce the size. Okay, so take it this way. Now the next thing I want to do is to come to elements again. I'm going to bring in this particular rectangle, and I'll drag it down like this, reduce the size. Okay, and bring it somewhere here. So the color, I'm not going to use any color here. I go to style and I say I want it to have an outline that will be 2 or 3. Let's try 3 because I do not want it to be so thick. So when I've done that, I go to stroke color, and we're going to use that same white that was not really so visible. So I go to colors now. Let's use this. So you see, that's how to achieve this particular line you're seeing here. So when I've done that, I just reduce the size because I do not want it to be longer than the main article. Now this one you're seeing here, I'm going to rotate it like this. I'm not certain this is the exact word I use for the main design, but I just want it to be fast. So you can see how I'm reducing it now, and I put it at the middle. I can increase the size a little bit again, but make sure that everything is in the middle. Okay, so this is in the middle now. All right, that's how to achieve that. Now the next thing I want to do is to this particular right up now. I'm just going to duplicate it, bring it somewhere here, and then type more. Just add more to it, add more content to it by editing, and then you start it's moving forward because I want it to be longer. Okay, so I click here, click the text. Let's go in and adjust it so that everything will be very long. Now can you see? So now the next thing I did was to duplicate this also. I want to get the round stuff that you're seeing somewhere here. Can you see this round circle text? That's what I want to show you how to achieve now. So come here and we're going to edit this text. We're going to reduce it a little bit so that it's not so much. I think I used Tech Hub, digital services, and more. Okay, that's what I used. I'm very certain. So come again and go to format. So now let's go to effects. I think that should be in effects. Okay, go to shape and you see curve. So you can see how it looks now. So click on the curve and then we are going to adjust it to fit in into a circle. So click plus 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 until it becomes a circle. Can you see now? That's how to achieve something like this. So this is it. So the next thing I did, I'm going to duplicate this one and just type my tech hub again. So I have typed my tech hub digital again, and we're going to reduce the size. Just crop it like this, and I come here to bold, make it to be bold. Go to advanced, and we're going to reduce the line spacing. I don't want the line spacing to be so much, so I've reduced that. Now I want to put it in the middle of. I want to put this particular tech hub now inside. I want to put it inside this shape you're seeing here. So I come here, I reduce the size, and put it inside the circle. So remember, you can always zoom in. That's what gives you authority to be able to move around on Canva, the zooming option. And that's one of the things I actually love about Canva. So now I'm going to select multiple. That way I can group the two of them. So I click on the circle one, I click on group. And as you can see, we've done this now. So what I did next was to just move it this way, here. Okay, so that's how to achieve something like that on Canva. Now you want to type maybe something like that is more readable. So I say led by music associations. Okay, music associate. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's use this. So I'm going to come here to where I have my format, align to the left, make sure it is bold, go to advanced, reduce the line spacing, and we can reduce the size. As you can see, let me duplicate so that I have a text to work with after now. So I'm going to bring it somewhere here. So let's rotate this now. So I'm rotating this, as you can see, make it to be 90. It should be 90, so that way everything is straightforward. Okay, so this is 90. I could reduce the size and drag it to start with somewhere here. So if you ever wonder how to get something like this on Canva, this is exactly how I did it. So when you're doing it, you have to be patient with yourself because it requires so much patience. So you can see right now I've achieved this particular aspect, which happens to be the most difficult aspect of this design. Do you understand? So let's go and bring in our shape to put in this minister's name, Judy K. And so I go to elements as usual, come to elements here, and I'm going to give it an outline. Color should be white, that same white that we used, not the pure white. Okay, so this is it. So here I'm going to reduce the size, bring it somewhere here, and the fill color will be empty. We don't want any fill color there. So this is let's edit here to be Judith. Edit again, and let's duplicate this now and type the key. So duplicate now and type ministering. So this one will have to be reduced. Make sure it's in the middle, and we can now use line spacing to letter spacing, I mean to say, to adjust it this way and make it look better. So that's how I was able to achieve this one here. Now let's go and add the content we have at the bottom, which is those shapes and all that. So come back again, add your shape, and we're going to use this particular gradient. I have a gradient here, which is this one. Click on it again. Let's double click on it so you can pick any style that you want it to be. So that way you're not kind of restricted. So let's say we're going with this one. So I'm going to drag it this way. Okay, so duplicate again and then give it a color of white. This one now can be pure white if you choose to. And most importantly, we're going to remove the corners, make the corners to be straight. So come to corners and make it to be straight. That's what I did here. And then I had to make sure that this one was not so big. So you can see. So if I want to, I can now adjust it and say, okay, maybe I want it to be bolder or a little bit slimmer, but then I have to group the two of them together. So moving them will not be a problem. So select multiple, click here, and then I group. So that's how to achieve this. You get it? So now I already have my content type. So to save my time and not typing all over again, let's go back to the main work and just duplicate some of these things. So it's easy. So come here. This is a QR code. To get a QR code, you can go to elements and just search for QR code. A lot of QR code will come out, and that's the one you're seeing here. So I just click now and add this QR code. Let's bring it to the main work here. So this is it. This is my QR code. So I feel this particular QR code, this section is even too wide. So let's reduce it a bit. Okay, so I think this is better. So we can adjust the two of them by increasing the size if we want to. So just click here and adjust. Okay, so that's how to add the QR code. Now the next thing you want to add is this typed work. So just duplicate and bring it here. So you can see that aspect of the QR code is settled, isn't it? So the next thing is, let's come to this test now. These are normal typings I did, normal, very normal. So you can see them. I used Monsterrat for them, Monsterrat. So to save my time, I would love to just select them all together. This one was aligned to the right, normal typing and all that. So I'm going to select this one. So come to multiple, select multiple now. Select event time, event venue. Okay, come to free entry. Kindly invite someone. I go to time. I come here, come here, come here, and I'm going to group them. So I can just duplicate and move it the other way. So come here. Remember, the essence of doing this is to save my time. I don't want to start recording all of that. It's going to make this video to be so long. So see here, I just reduce the size now. And this is done. So the next thing was to type under and say Jesus is the reason for the season. Oh yes, he is. Oh yes, he is. So when you come here, you just go ahead and duplicate it. So I'll move it down here. Okay, and that is how to get this work done. So if you want to join my Canva to Profit community, where you get to ask me a question, you get to learn more on how to design effectively using Canva, you might want to sign up for the training. It's just 3,999 naira. So click the link wherever you can find it in this particular video and sign up right away. See you. Bye.